The union representing striking postal workers is backing down on a nationwide strike.
This is a pretty significant development. Let's bring in CB24's Beatrice Vaisman, who's working on the story. Beatrice, you're at the South Central Processing Plant with more details on this move. Good morning.
Good morning, Courtney and Jenna. A small picket here already at the South Central Distribution Center. Canada Post, of course, some of the postal workers already arriving here this morning. This is the final day, it seems, of this nationwide strike. We heard late last night from the national president of CUPW, the union representing these thousands of postal workers, that as of 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, local time, that there will be rotating strikes as opposed to this blanket nationwide strike. What that will do is, of course, get mail back into the hands of some Canadians. And also, the union says this will still allow these postal workers and their union to continue their struggle for good collective agreements and a strong public postal work service, they say. And so again, this now will ultimately end nationwide strikes, instead rotating strikes, and that every day various locals will ultimately get the word that it's their turn to be out on the picket lines. The union adding, we did not take the decision to move to a nationwide strike lightly, saying that postal workers would much rather have a new collective agreement and be delivering mail as opposed to taking strike action. I want to read you a portion of the statement that also was shared by the CUPW president, Jan Simpson. It said, contract after contract, this employer has sought to chip away at postal services, worker rights, and good jobs, and its latest offers are an outright attack on public service. The government's announcement back on September 25th also emboldened Canada Post to continue making a mockery of the bargaining process. To remind our viewers, it was back on September 25th, just hours after a government announcement that essentially the Fed saying door-to-door mail delivery will end for nearly all Canadian households within the next decade. These postal workers walked off the job. Talks have continued between the two sides, though it seems like very sparsely. And it's been 2 years, actually, for these postal workers that they've been without a contract. So lots of frustration from these postal workers. And they're demanding that the Crown Corporation certainly gets back to a fair bargaining process. That's what they're calling it, a fair bargaining process, to get what they want to be a fair collective agreement. Of course, we'll bring you the latest here on CP24 as we get it. Back to you.
Okay, that is Beatrice Vaisman joining us live from the South Central Processing Plant. Thank you, Beatrice. We'll check in with you later.